25 years. It's just crazy to me to think how long ago it was.
Hello, this is Coach Nick Bowler. I want to thank Coach Dallas Larson for calling and inviting me to speak a little bit about the 1995 state championship football game between the Moapa Valley Pirates and the Tahoe Truckee Wolverines. In this first clip, I'd like to talk just a little bit about the team. The team had a lot of good seniors and juniors. We had a good mix, and we were playing in the state championship game, and it was quite a season. These kids had earned the label as the cardiac kids because many games during the season they had come from behind. In fact, even as the season started, we started 0-2 as losing up on the road to Kanab, Utah, the first game of the season, and then came home and lost by 6 points to Hurricane at home. So we started the season 0-2. We then went on a 9-game winning streak that ended up in the state championship game with Tahoe Truckee. Along the way, we had, again, other comeback wins, most notably the championship game, last game of the regular season with Virgin Valley. They had a 20-game winning streak at Virgin Valley, were the defending state champions, and their quarterback, Darren Cheney, had never lost a varsity football game. Anyway, we ended up playing that game and falling behind 10-0 at halftime. And in the second half, we came back and won the game 20-10, which earned us the right to host the playoffs and to continue on in the playoffs from that point. So this season for the kids, in fact, the T-shirt we made at the end of the season, the Cardiac Kids, and with their season record on it, for so many come from behind wins that occurred during the season. And as it turned out, when it came to the championship game, that attribute of coming from behind would be very important. Bunch of great kids, great team, and I'll talk a little bit more about it. Our opponent in the state championship game was Tahoe Truckee. This is a team we were very familiar with. We had played Tahoe Truckee 3 years previously. The first meeting was at home in 1992. Both teams were undefeated, and we hosted the Truckee Wolverines, and again came from behind in that ball game, being down 10-6 going late into the fourth quarter. Toby Reed hit Casey Robinson on a touchdown pass with about 2.5 minutes left to go in the game, and we won that ball game 13-10. And then later went on to win the state championship game with Lowry, 19-0. The next 2 years we had to go to Truckee and play there, losing 54-19 and 49-20. Playing in Truckee, California was never easy. Their stadium is called Surprise Stadium. They blare out TNT music, and it was tough. In fact, the kids that played in this 95 game had played up at Truckee the year before, and when we lost the game 49-20. And we actually had the lead in that game 14-0 in the first quarter and ended up losing it. You can see that they were a very tough team. So with those memories of Truckee, having played them 3 years straight, winning 1, losing 2, now we were meeting for the next 4th time in the Sam Boyd Stadium, first time for the state championship game. This would be the first time we played Truckee for the actual state game.
I was one of 4 players on our championship team who had dads who played at Moapa Valley, who were on the 67 and 68 championship teams. So that was really kind of cool to be a part of, something special like that. So it was me, Shane Hickman, Grant Bowler, and Micah Anderson all had dads on those teams. So that was really cool to be kind of a second generation connection.
I remember talking to the coaches after, like years afterwards, and we, starting the season off 0-2, losing our first 2 games. I remember after that second loss, I'm like, man, are we going to have is this it? Are we that bad? We played Mojave, Arizona, which was a very big school, a very big team, and we beat them 28-7 or 28-6, something like that. And we just destroyed them, and it was wasn't really, we certainly didn't outsize them, but we certainly out-hustled them, and we just played really hard. And after that game, I remember talking to the coaches years later. They're like, after that game, we knew we had a good team and we were going to go the distance, hopefully.
First off, I want to say we lost our first 2 games. We're on a 9-game win streak. We were known to be slow starters. Where they started labeling us, that we heard it around town. They call us the comeback kids, because many of the games that we were in, we were losing. And it was almost like we needed some time to wake up, get our chemistry going, and then we would start, and then we would turn it around, and just everything would click and everything would go our way.
That kind of catapulted us, obviously, was the division championship against Virgin Valley. They had a 21-game winning streak, I believe, and we were able to snap that in the division championship, which gave us home field advantage, which I thought was huge.
In our playoff games, we hosted North Tahoe and won that game 47-0. And the next week, then we hosted Spring Creek, Nevada, which would, if we won that game, would send us to the state title game. In that game, we fell behind Spring Creek. In fact, we were behind 10-6 late into the fourth quarter. And as luck would have it, we scored 28 points in 2 minutes and 52 seconds. In a span of 2 minutes and 52 seconds, we scored 28 points and won that game 34-10. And so, again, coming from behind and doing things from behind seemed to be this cardiac kid's method of operation. They just seem to like to do that. They like to make it dramatic in their wins. And so going into the state championship game, this had kind of been the history and what we were prepared for.
We were in the playoffs. We playing Spring Creek. Every game, it seemed like we were coming back. The paper, I think they called us the cardiac kids or the comeback kids. And it was against Spring Creek in the playoffs. And we were they had a running back that was just murdering us. And he'd either run left or he'd run right. Left, right, every time. And we couldn't stop him. I mean, they weren't even doing it. It was literally this run. So finally it took, I don't know, a quarter. It probably took 2 quarters or so. And then Jason Waite, who played the other outside back, we talked. I'm like, dude, that's all they're doing. You hit him every time he comes to your side, even if he doesn't have the ball. And I'll hit him every time. And so we just put some flicks on this guy. And we would just pummel him and hit him and hit him and hit him from both sides. And then finally, we just, I think, wore him down. He got hit every single time, regardless if he had the ball or not. We went and made it a mission. And then we had a couple, we had a block, I think it was a field goal block, point, something, I can't remember. But then I remember it was Jason picked it up and ran it back for a touchdown. I think it was Jason, it's 25 years ago. And, that game, that changed it all, because then we picked up on their weakness. We started exploiting it. And ultimately we won that to go into the state championship.
They were kicking a field goal to go up 13-6 or something like that. And Jason Waite blocked it on the edge and ran it back all the way to the 1-yard line, celebrated a little too early, and got tackled at the 1. And we still laugh about that. It's still funny. And we ended up scoring a touchdown. We scored on a dive play. And then after that, Spring Creek just fell apart. I think they kicked it off and they threw a pick 6. I think Stuart Humes got a pick 6 on that. And then I think Brandon Batchelor got a pick 6 a couple plays later, as soon as they kicked it off. They kicked off again. Jason Waite stripped the ball and ran it back for a touchdown on the kickoff. And so within 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes, we scored 28 points. The overall feel was just, we were excited. We were just excited to be in the state game. None of us, I don't think, had any type of fear of what's going to happen. We just were excited. I mean, it was finally a goal that we had set from little kids all the way up through junior high, through high school, was coming to fruition. And it was just like we were there. And now we just got to play the game.
Go into 95, man. I think back, it was like a blur, the game. The lead up to get there was so much for me, and I was so emotional about getting there. I just remember kind of like a euphoria, just walking out onto the UNLV turf, and I was just was kind of out of the body experience, I would say. I don't remember the crowds. I don't remember, just kind of zoned in and emotional to have set a goal, to work so hard, to have gotten there. And even though my season looked way different than I had ever expected it to be, I was just there to have fun and loved it.
Junior number 43, Doug Totten. At the other linebacker, a senior, number 32, Cam Asay. At linebacker, a senior, number 15, Jason Waite. At defensive back, a senior, number 14, Stuart At defensive back, a senior, number 21, Hickman. And at the other defensive back, a junior, number 33, Brandon Batchelor, and the rest of the Pirates. The Pirates are coached by Mr. Nick Bowler.
A football game, we get the choice and we choose to kick to them. And so we kicked to them, and this didn't happen once all season long. They ran it back for 6 right off the bat. And so to go in there and to be excited, to be pumped, and we're in the state game, and to have that happen for the very first play of the game, it's a little irritating to say the least. So right off the bat, they make the extra point, we're 7-0.
And I remember the kickoff, boom, touchdown. They ran it back for a touchdown on us. And you're like, oh, suck. This isn't the way you want to start it out.
As things turned out, we had to kick off to Truckee to start the football game. As we kick off, I noticed we have a couple of lane people that are not in the right lanes as they are covering for the kickoff. The kick goes about, 65, 70 yards. One of their better running backs catches the football and then does a couple moves and comes almost down our sideline and returns it for a touchdown. They kick the extra point and we're down 14-0 with about 15, 16 seconds gone off the clock. And so I didn't want to turn and look at the boys to see if their heads were down, but I figured that some would be down, but I knew others would not. I was just listening for conversation to see if they were going to get down in conversation or if they were going to stay positive. And all I heard was positive things coming off our sideline.
Interesting football ironies of me running back the opening kickoff on them my junior year, and then they turned around and ran back the opening kickoff on us my senior year. It's kind of funny.
That's right. All right. Take it back. Take the Bachelor. Bachelor taking the reverse to
Number 30.
First play for Moapa. First and 10 for Moapa. Ball under 11. All right. Bowler up under center. Hickman in the I-back formation. Takes out the ball. Under the ball. Hickman tackled. Second and 17. Second and 7 mistakes. Second and 17. 3 yards. Hickman and Levitt in the split formation. Pitch out to Hickman. Third and 7. The ball is on the 4th tomorrow. Third and 7. Just steady. There's several universities. Again, pitch out to Hickman. Hickman to the left side. Bringing the ball out to the number. 4th down. Hickman to punt. These guys are 3. Get in the groove. They need to knuckle down, settle in, take a deep breath, and go for it.
Shane Hickman back to punt for Moapa.
Hickman coming from about the 10-yard line.
We practiced a little bit, but we couldn't grasp what was actually happening. We played a normal forefront. What we had to do is when Truckee would put the wing split out on the tight end side, and if he motioned towards the tight end, we would shift our D linemen, our 2 interior tackles, and the weak side end. they would all shift a gap, or some cases a whole man, to the tight end side, because that's the side that Truckee would run to whenever they motioned him in towards that tight end. That first half, we had a couple of D tackles that couldn't quite grasp it. We got gouged for some big yards, but for the most part, we tried to do what we could to stop them, and we slowed them down at times, made some plays, but I don't think we made them punt that first half. So we had a challenge on our hands, and some of our interior linemen, they would come to the side when we were on offense and say, "Hey, that's not working." And I said, "Well, if you'll do what we ask you to do, if you'll adjust when you're supposed to adjust and do it quickly, we'll be able to slow them down and stop them." That was our game plan.
Hickman, 11.
Second down and a long line.
Defensive players seem like that way, but we can maintain the intensity we did in Spring Creek.
Truckee's got the ball.
Fumble on the play.
First and 10 for Truckee on the 27-yard line.
And that is what has to take place.
Goal line.
Wolverine.
On both sides. Right again on the center, handing off to number 1.
35 over 23.
Right under center. Handing off to number
Go.
7.
First down. Number 5.
This is an important series right here, these next 4 downs for the Pirates. Right again under center. Little moving to the right side and missing the ball. Random in front of you. All right.
Go, Little. Go. And one, and the other down.
They are lower than away from one. Now first down.
Numbers.
State double A goal.
So far, Truckee is stuck with the Beretta Little game. Again, Little to the left side.
Numbers.
One of their players' name is Perquita. Yeah.
Close out. You're in.
Number 1.
Third
down and goal at the 1. Number 7.
Little and now Carr back.
Touchdown.
Bring them back. The 18 a loss.
Number 10, Chris Rendon in to kick the extra point. Ball is
Ready
down.
with the kick. It's up. It's good.
The extra point. Truckee 14.
All right, Rendon to kick off. Ball goes to the Pirates 10-yard line. Gives it to Hickman. Hickman running up the top.
Number 21. James Hickman.
Bowler, I believe, coming.
First and 10 for Moapa.
Bowler on the center. Hickman and Nutt in the back. Pitch off to the
First point. That's left to right there to Brian.
advance the ball to about the 32-yard line. It'll be first down. 15-10 Pirates. Bowler with the
32-yard line. Yes.
6-2 Moapa. As we enter the first quarter, ladies.
The score.
Touchdown and 4 on the first quarter. They've given up 2. But we
zone and has been fast. We've been a strong second half here, and I think we're going to have to rely on that tonight.
I think you're right. Here we are to start the second half.
Number
First and 10 for Moapa.
They want to shoot Hickman strong for being able to read the field and check his hold before he goes. Bowler will hand off to Hickman. Hickman up the middle. We'll see when those holes plug up on him before he gets there. He does a very good job of finding another way. Again, Bowler faking to Hickman, handing up to Baxter. Baxter going wide to the right.
And got a loss on the play. Third and 12 for us. Third and 12.
Bowler under center. Third down, Bowler under center, making the pitch to Hickman, back to pass to the outside.
Okay, fourth down with a long.
All right, seeing the fourth down. Field goal attempt here. Bowler to hold, Terry to kick. The kick is up. Williams is blocked. Williams is
No good.
the field goal.
At that time, I think there was a partial catch went off a little bit of the side of the foot.
There's a big fall
Take
here.
Truckee on the 20.
Got it. Able to get the ball down the right corner.
We are outmanned on this side. That's all there is to it.
Second down. Quarterback. It is again.
Fumble on the play.
All right, back on the mic with me is Coach Jim Mackley. Coach Mackley, what do you think?
Well, we're just having a problem getting situated to their offense.
There's that 2 minutes. Go. Yes. First down. Truckee's ball.
Center.
And 10.
Split back. Alvarez and Little in the backfield. We also have receivers
7:50
wide out.
first half.
Right on pass. Pass is incomplete. Sometimes these players
Second
need
and
to
10.
have eyes in the back of their heads as they cover these receivers.
Second and 10 for Truckee.
Retta again under center.
Coming this way.
Little and Alvarez. Retta keeping the ball, taking the hand off.
Yes. Go, Nick. Go on a play.
All right.
Just about front.
Go. First and 10. 43.
Retta again under center. Little and Alvarez split. Retta back to pass.
Come on, catch it.
Pass to the left side. Leading with the pass.
Second and 10.
Seconds left in
Second and
the
10.
second quarter here at the Silver Bowl. Tita on the center. Same formation.
Fumble on the play. Recovered.
47 yards.
Bowler under center, Hickman to Hickman, Bowling back to pass.
First and 10 for Moapa. Ball's on the 33-yard line.
There's a player that I believe has really got to step up tonight for us to be able to win this game. Fake to Levitt, hand off to Hickman.
Second and 9 for Moapa. Second and 9.
All right, Levitt Hickman split in the backfield. Bachelor, wide to the right. Bowler rolling to his right.
It was 14-0, and we called our double pass. And what the double pass was a wide receiver screen with a backside tight end drag route, deep post. And so it was coming to me, and it was my opportunity to throw the ball downfield to our tight end, which was Chris Totten. And we had practiced it before, and the story behind it is that normally I would take my glove off because I threw better without my catching gloves being on. And when we called the double pass, in my mind I was thinking halfback pass, which was one of the plays that I knew we were potentially going to run. We had run it before with Shane Hickman throwing it. But as I'm going out to the line of scrimmage and getting ready for the ball to be snapped, in my mind I'm realizing, oh my gosh, this is the double pass. And so in my kind of panic mode, I forgot it was on 2, and I flinch. Not a big one. I remember thinking, man, I hope they didn't call that. Well, anyway, over the course of the play, I catch the screen, I plant my foot, I see Chris, I throw it to him, he catches it down by like the 5-yard line. Crowd goes crazy, and I look over and I see the flag. So I knew that the ref had seen me flinch. So let this be a lesson to you guys when I tell my receivers and stuff, don't, watch the ball. That's why I always tell that. All right.
Third down, 14 for the line. 14.
Bowler again under center. Levin and Hickman split the back.
Five for Moapa. 4 minutes left in the first half. All right, ball's on the 21. Bowler back to back.
Pass complete to number 21, Shane Hickman. Number 21, Steve Cromer made the tackle. First down, Wolverine.
This is a turnover. First half by Pirates. Tita handing off to Little.
Second and 8 for the
first half so far. It's been to Tita Little strike.
7.
Tita in the center. Little and Alvarez wide in the back. Little again getting the call.
Another 2 yards. Second and 5 balls into 32. 25 left in the first half.
Tita in the center. Alvarez. Little again split. Receivers wide. Tita back.
Yes. Yes.
Three times. All
For
the
a first and 10 or 44. There's 15 left in the first half.
Tita in the center.
First and 10.
Little in the back. Out to Little.
3 yards. 150 left.
Pirates need to be thinking
First half.
holding it here as well as trying to hit that
Second
ball.
and 7.
Wolverines are doing a good job of covering it up. Tita.
Yes. Yes. Yes, come on. First and 10 for Truckee on the 39. We have 135 left in the first half. First and 10, 35.
Tita is ready to go. Back to pass. Back.
Yes.
Oh, shot!
Tita back to pass. Pass is deep to the
Second and 10 for Truckee. There is 124 left in the first half. Second and 10.
Back to pass. Pass is going deep, almost into the
Third and 10 for Truckee. Still up 27. 10.
Little outfield split in the back. Tita under center. Tita faking to Alvarez, passing on the middle. Yes, come on!
First and goal on the 6. We have 112 left in the first half. First and goal on the 6.
Tita under center. Handing off to Little. Little
3 yards. 2 yards. Here we go. Got it back on.
Tita getting ready to drop under center. We have Dumont and Stanton both wide to the outside. Alvarez and Little is splitting back.
Go, Nick. Down to the 1.
Number 6.
On the goal line, we have 25 seconds left in this first half.
Don't really get the ball. This is definitely
Touchdown, Truckee. For the PAT, one nice lead.
This is up. Blue Parsley.
No good.
The extra Puebla Valley, nothing.
Rolling backward. Creek quarterback.
Okay, it's 2nd and 4 for Moapa, 1 second left. 2nd and 4, 1 second left for first down.
Truckee team is doing this. Batting for it again. Go the other way.
That's the end of the first down.
At halftime, as we talked to the kids, we knew they were in for a tough fight. They had seen what was going on, and like I say, we'd been thumped by Truckee 2 years in a row. And so, the kids knew they were in for a battle, but yet this team had a lot of heart and had a lot of determination that they could turn things around. And we talked about, we'd always been a second half team. And to give them a little bit of hope, we said, they did make one mistake. They missed that extra point, and because they missed that extra point, we were going to win the game. They had made a mistake in the.
As we went into the halftime, we were down 20-0. We had to make some adjustments, not a lot, but just some minor adjustments. So as we went into the half, I always talk about the defensive adjustments. And it wasn't anything other than just making sure that when that tight end and wing, that wing is in motion to the tight end side, that we adjust. The linebackers have got to talk. And of course, Coach Bowler made a few adjustments, talked about a few blocking assignments, some plays that were working, some that weren't, what we needed to do. And so at that point, we were about ready to head out. And of course, Coach Matson, he's the fire and brimstone type of a coach. He gives the best speeches ever at halftime or before a game. And so he gets all of them together and he says, hey guys, he says, we're going to go out there the second half and we're going to shut them out. They're not going to score the second half. We're going to go out there and we're going to score 3 touchdowns and we're going to kick our extra points. And the score at the end of this game is going to be 21-0. So that was a prophetic call on his part. It got our guys fired up and motivated. So we came out that second half and decided we wanted to make a game of it.
But it was 20-0 at half. We're all kind of irritated. I was kind of irritated because I knew the toss wasn't working. They were really keen on Hickman. And so I even kind of spouted off at the mouth to Coach Bowler. I don't even know if he remembers this, but I was like, man, we need to do something. The toss isn't there. We need to, work the middle. And of course, to his credit, he just kind of said, Humes, get to the locker room. And I was just like, okay. And then, Coach Matson was always that guy that was there when you needed a good pump up speech. And he said that we were going to come back and win 21-20 because of their missed extra point. And of course, that got us all fired up.
Spring Creek being one, and then of course the state game, we were down, and we were just kind of really quiet in the locker room. There really was no. Keel wasn't saying much. Bowler wasn't saying much. I'm sure they were talking amongst themselves, trying to figure out what they were going to do in the second half, but nobody was really addressing the team, if I remember correctly. And we were just kind of moping around and just quiet. Nobody was saying much. And all of a sudden, Coach Matson, just screamed and got all of our attention. And just like, what is going on? What is the matter? And he goes on this motivational speech. I can't really remember what was said other than he said that missed field goal is going to be the game winner for us. And he just was trying to get us motivated, trying to get us pumped up, trying to get us a little life back into us. We were certainly deflated a little bit. And he said that missed extra point is going to be our game winner. And of course, we're screaming, yeah. Little did we know that at the end of the game, Lance Terry's extra point was the game winner for us.
And then we go into halftime, and Coach Madsen, I know that you'll get a lot of that, but Coach Madsen's, they missed that extra point. We're going to win 21-20. You guys are going to win this. And I remember coming out, and there was just a calm, this whole game. It was just a calm peacefulness. I knew we were going to win state. I just knew it. Like I said.
We end up going in at half, and it's 20-0. Okay, as we walk into the locker room, it's like, we're pissed. You know what I mean? We're upset. We're, come on, guys. We're doing the whole, we're angry, but we don't know what to do, so we're kind of yelling at each other, getting mad. Like, we're better than this. You're all these comments coming in, and we sat down, and every single coach got up and every single coach reamed us, right? Which they should have, because we were playing horribly. One of the things that stands out to me the most in that game was Coach Matson talked to us. He got up in front of us, and he was, if you don't know Coach Matson, he was pretty mild-mannered most of the time, but he could motivate, and he was a fireball, man. I loved it. And he got up there and he ripped us. And I wish I had it on recording so I could play it. It was that good. And then he said, basically, like, I don't know why you guys are moping around. He told us, you're going to win this game. You're going to go out. They missed their extra point, so it's 20-0, and we're going to win this football game 21-20. And I always thought that was really awesome because, like, the locker room, it just kind of, like, erupted. You know what I mean? It was like we went in, I don't want to say we were beat because we never thought we were beat, but we went in down, and we went in frustrated and, you know, kind of yelling at each other, getting mad at each other, you know, trying to find some motivation. And when he says this, like, the whole team just starts, just starts screaming, right? I mean, the excitement is in the air. And when we left that locker room, it was like, we're winning this game. Like, I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it. We're going to win in this game. And we walk out, and guys are yelling, 21-20. We're winning this football game. And so that's the start of when we woke up and said, hey, we're going to win this football game.
Number 12, Nick Fertitta to kick off for the Wolverines.
Building the ball, taking the reverse too fast. Hickman cutting back in the middle.
Moapa on 17.
All right, Bowler under center. Hickman and Levitt split in the backfield. Pitch out to Hickman.
Didn't get the block.
Number 21.
Wolverines, whatever reason, stayed in there.
So a few plays that stand out to me in the second half are we run a fullback dive. Our fullback was Levitt, extremely fast, okay? Both of our guys in the backfield, very, very quick. Shane Hickman, one of the fastest in the state. Levitt, no slouch, very, very fast. Well, Lance not a big fullback. We didn't run him up the middle a ton, but they do a dive. And I think he goes for 60, 65 yards. I can't remember. He busts it up, and then he heads for the sidelines, and he outruns every single person. And the crowd goes crazy. One thing great about a Moapa game is the crowds, right? I mean, they go crazy. And so now it's off.
Third play of the half, we handed off the ball to Lant Levitt, our fullback, and he hadn't carried the ball a lot. Shane Hickman was our main ball carrier and had done a wonderful job. But it kind of surprised him, I think, and Lant Levitt went 80 yards for a touchdown. I don't think anybody even touched him, and put us on the board. And with Lance's extra point, the score was 20-7.
We came out in the third quarter, put a couple good plays together, got a first down, and then Coach Bowler called the dive play to me that opened up everything. It was awesome. Lant Levitt, right up the middle on a dive, untouched, 65 yards, and then we were off and running.
20.
This time DeMont is in motion to the left. Asay handing off the middle again. A little up the middle.
First down, Truckee up the 39, second kick on
Two down the center, same formation. Little off goes wide, split back. Two down the center. Off goes little hand off the outfield. Off goes the
Third man, 41, third man.
in motion. Fake blocker.
Pass is incomplete.
You see they're going straight down the post line. Put the ball right in there, but the receivers go right to the ball.
Bouldering set to punt. Hickman and Bassler deep.
Martin almost into the block.
Tutic getting the punt off.
Can't come off on the third one. Working at the drive.
All right. Bowler coming up on the center.
6 minutes left on the third.
Hickman in the I formation, handing off to the end zone to Levitt. This is what we've been talking about all day. It's got to be everyone. Shane can't do this enough this year. We go. The blocks will be given to some of these players. Particularly key to bring the position to the Bowler with the hit on 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Obviously, you take advantage of the enthusiasm and the adrenaline that's going here. Pitch out to Hickman.
I threw a halfback pass against, I can't even remember who. It might have even been the Mojave game. I threw one against the Mesquite game for the division championship, but I didn't throw it deep. I threw it to our tight end coming across the middle, and we got a first down with that. They covered the deep threat. They covered Brandon Batchelor going deep because they knew it was coming. And so when we ran it in the game, I can remember, I think Coach Bowler was scrambling. I mean, he was like, we got to find something to do that'll work, because their defense was pretty stout. I mean, obviously they kept us out of the end zone for the first half for sure. And I said, hey, why not halfback pass? And when I remember getting it, Brandon was all alone back there. And if you watch the film, you can see their corner or their safety.
Yeah.
He starts to recover, but he doesn't get there in time, and that ball lands right in Brandon's hands when he's kind of almost backing up into the end zone a little bit, and it's just right there.
We did a halfback option pass with Shane Hickman, where we tossed him the ball like we always did on the sweep, and this time he found Brandon Batchelor in the end zone for a touchdown.
Then the second play in that half, obviously, is the halfback pass from Hickman to Brandon Batchelor, which was just incredible. When you watch it, he actually throws it off his back foot, and he just flings it down there like it was nothing, right on the money to Brandon. It was a huge play. And at that point, I think we really had the momentum. I think Truckee really kind of started panicking a little bit, kind of went away from what they were good at.
It's fourth down. Okay, so we're right in that zone. We have the best kicker in the state of Nevada, Lance Terry. Had hit a 53 or 54 earlier in the season. Maybe that was his senior year, not the junior year, but I'm pretty sure it was in that season. But he had a leg, but we were like right in that range where it was just a little bit out there. And it was fourth and not too long. Well, Coach Bowler calls a pitch to Hickman. Well, we pitch to Hickman all the time. We run right, run left. He literally is probably the fastest guy on the football field anytime we play. And so him getting the corner, we had a lot of success with that. Well, they call a pitch and then a pass. So they pitch it out to Hickman, And this is one thing about growing up with Shane is he's this freak athlete, and he literally can throw a ball, like I seen a pro ball, like 70 yards. I mean, it's crazy to watch him do this. I think that ship has sailed. I don't think he can do that now, but I mean, he could throw that ball. Well, they pitch it to him, and he airs it out. I think it's 35, 40 yards, right in there. Heck of a pass, on the money, and he hits Brandon Batchelor. Brandon was a guy that, great player. He was our 2-back, and if it touched his fingers, he was catching the ball. And Hickman aired it out, he got it, touchdown. And so now we're looking at 2014, right? And now we are feeling it.
I had a missed tackle that I still, you remember the negatives a lot more than the positives, that's for sure. And I just remember we were down maybe on their 5-yard line, had him in a great position. And as an outside backer, obviously I'm supposed to turn him everybody inside. And he got on the outside of me and just way faster than I ever was. And the kid just beat me on it. And I just still remember that, like, oh my gosh, had you in the end zone right there. And I gave that up. And just this focus, like this rage comes on, and you just start rumbling, and things started breaking our way, and had some big plays, and some big runs, and things then it started motivating, and it was just kind of that turn in our favor that just ultimately led us to victory. But I just remember on the sidelines, offense, do your job, we'll do our job, and we'll stop them. And
another exciting play for me was the game-winning touchdown. Okay, so our defense goes out there and we stuff them. We're like clicking now. We freaking sock it to them. They got a blow. They snap it over the punter's head. I've got me on one side. I've got my brother, call him Red, Chris, on the other side. Well, I rush in, and he's rushing in, and we're getting that ball. Well, the ball rolls into the end zone, and I dive on the ball, and I have no idea, like, still to this day, how I didn't end up getting that ball. Well, you can see on the film, like, I dive on it, and then he ends up being right next to me. I think he might have stole it from me, I don't know. But anyways, the ball, I dive on the ball, it pops out, and he gets the touchdown. And it was just fun. It was just an exciting time. So that put us at 2020. I mean, the excitement in the place, the crowd is rocking, we're rocking. I jump up, I'm so excited. Everybody on the field is jazzed, right? And so from there, Lance Terry comes out, a lot of pressure on the best kicker in the state of Nevada, but this ain't nothing for him. So bam, he puts it through 21-20.
And then one of my favorite plays was when they snapped the ball over the punter's head. It went into the end zone, and Chris Totten was able to recover it in the end zone for a touchdown. Awesome, because Chris was amazing tight end for us all year. Caught a lot of clutch first downs for us, but for whatever reason, we just couldn't get him a score. We were a traditionally run-heavy team anyway, So it was really cool that he was able to get that touchdown. And I remember watching Doug, his brother, jump into his arms in the end zone, which was really cool. I don't know why I remember that, but anyway, that was really cool to see Chris Totten get that touchdown.
The biggest play, I think one of the biggest plays was just the fact that we were, they were getting ready to punt the ball, and the ball snaps over their head, rolls into the end zone, and Chris Totten, everyone called him Red in high school. I remember I don't think he had scored a touchdown the whole year, and he's like, "This is the game I'm going to score a touchdown in." And I can remember him talking about that. And when the ball snapped over his head, him and his brother Doug were both down in their end zone trying to find it. Once you know it, Red lands on top of it, gets a touchdown, and there you go. Red gets his touchdown on the season.
Pirates pitch out to Hickman. Hickman taking the ball and here's the outside. Blasting the ball off to the top. Ball's not up and down. Early in the center. Hickman on the affirmation. Love it. Wide to the left. Pitch out to Hickman. Hickman to the left side. Second and 7. Let it to the right. Hickman pitch out. Oh, that Hickman's number up on Hickman off the ball. All right, here we go. Head off to Hickman.
number 20.
Hurry up, go. Lining up in front formation. 4th and 5 for the offense. 4th and 7. I believe it's Sean Stanley out there. I think it's actually a high snap for Hickman. Hickman gets off the fusion pump. Go, Sal. Go! Go, Sean. Go! Go!
One play that I was a part of that I really remember that I was, particularly excited about was a fumbled play by Sal Alvarez, their best player. He had kind of gotten open towards midfield, and I remember getting off of the receiver that was blocking me, and I just said, I'm going to just go hit him, put my helmet on the ball, see if we can make something happen. And I remember getting up, not sure that the ball was loose, but my guys were celebrating. And so it was really cool to kind of be a part of a play that kind of snuffed out their drive. And then one last play that really stuck out to me was a 3rd and 12 or something, I believe, and we ran a boot pass, but our fullback goes out. It was Lant Levitt, and Grant, who had been really good all year with his accuracy, threw a perfect ball in between 2 defenders. Lant caught it, and we were able to run out the clock, and we were state champions.
Number
3rd and 7. 37 balls on the 3rd.
Number 21. 4th down and 6 for the Pirates.
1:34 left. I'll tell you what, this game was tough. It was theirs to win, and Huddersfield kept the ball.
Number 12.
We're at 21. Bowler kneeling down, just down in the ball, taking the snap.
It was a great game. It was a lot of fun. I look back on that season, and it was a lot of good times. I played with a lot of good guys. The coaches were great. My coach, I played defense. My coach was Coach Keel, and Coach Taggart helped out. And those were 2 guys that I loved playing for. And I had that, that gave me that feeling like I wanted to just play as good as I possibly could just to please them. If I could hit somebody hard and get the kill to say nice hit or good tackle or anything like that, I mean, it just meant a lot. So it was fun to go out and play for these coaches. I just really enjoyed it. And Marty Taggart, that was, I believe, his last year. And he helped out, and he was wonderful. And then, you can't say enough good about Marty Taggart. But it was fun. We had a great coaching staff, every single one. We played to our strengths. It was a fun season. And, it's always fun when you take the state, right?
So it's amazing how memories that you have, and then when you watch the game again, just come flooding back, and it's just crazy to believe it's been this many years. What is it? 25 years almost. It's just crazy to think about. But once a state champion, it is something they can never take away from you.
Just being in this valley and playing in this school, playing that game in this school, for whatever reason, it just meant so much to not just me, but to everybody that was on that team. And it's just a tribute to the valley and the people that live here.
Great comeback. We've had some good football games in the past, in the times that I've been a coach, but this ranks probably as the number 2 overall as the games go, as far as excitement, comeback, and the power of the opposing team and who you play and how you go about winning that game. And we kept our heads up. The players did not get down. We kept at it. And we could just see the emotion drain out of Truckee, and that's what happens sometimes. You lose that momentum, and it can destroy a football team. But we're grateful for these players, for the athletes and the coaches that were part of this. Those guys are great athletes, and this is one to remember for the ages.
It was exciting. And then, one of the favorites, just seeing Coach Taggart even after, just how excited he was for it. And I think back at all the great coaches I had in the Valley, even from Mustang football with Coach Anderson, it just meant a lot to me. And Coach Wade helping out. And, then you got in and started meeting Coach Lee and Matt Nelson for our freshman year. And I just remember Coach Lee being like, "Why aren't you carrying the ball?" And I'm slow as heck, but he just, that was kind of his mentality. You need to be carrying this ball. And I just love to hit. I just love to crush people and hit people. And I just wanted to destroy people in a nice way. But it was really Coach Lee who kind of started that for me. And then, you meet Coach Madsen and Keel and Bowler, and just a fond memory for all the coaches out there, and just the community itself. Every game you went to, you had a good crowd out there with you, and I think you're blessed to live in the Valley. It's an amazing place. It's a great place for community, for sport. And my memories with the team, just some of the fun guys, I think of Shane Hickman, and, he was the only one getting scouted and recruited. And I would just, like I said, I played for fun. I wanted to crush. And even in practice, I would just go and put a lick on him, and I'd chase him out of bounds because he'd always go running, and I got a career to look after. And still makes me laugh. But, all the guys, it just was we had a fun crew, fun group of guys, and 25 years. It's just crazy to me to think how long ago it was that this all happened, because some of it still seems fresh, and then some of it you look back and, man, just babies. But state championship 1995 was a defining moment in my life, as it set me up for a future. At the time, you don't realize the impact that a season will have on your life, but it taught me determination and hard work and perseverance. And I think even Coach Keel and I had a tiff, and I couldn't tell you today what it was, but he was pissed at me for something, and I don't remember, and it doesn't matter, but it just teaches you conflict. So as I am with my kids today and raising them, and coaches are upset or yelling and stuff, it's part of the game. It's okay. Doesn't let it go. Just go out there and do your best. Go have fun and play. So I look at Nevada, and I feel for you guys. I feel for the seniors who aren't getting a part of this. It's cool that you're going to get a broadcast of some games. but disappointed for you guys that you're not out there playing and enjoying this senior season right now in the time that it's designed to be played. But I wish everybody the best and good luck to Moapa. And you always have a fond place in my heart. And I talk all the time about someday retiring out there in the valley and getting back to the roots. So good luck to you guys.
AA championship. Moapa Valley was child's play for Tahoe Truckee in the first half anyway, but Moapa down 20-0 staged a massive rally. The Pirates scored 21 unanswered points. This long touchdown run sparked the Pirate attack. Moapa Valley brings the 2A state championship to Southern Nevada. They topped Truckee 21-20. The trophy is theirs.
For Moapa today, they come from behind to beat Truckee. This is Shane Hickman continuing to lead this team. Shane used to play at Cimarron. He may be the best pure athlete in the state. He's quick, powerful. He can also throw a pass now and then. Check this one out. This play was called back, but this again, Shane Hickman putting the ball up in the air like his dad used to do when he played there years ago. Moapa wins it, though, 21-20. Also, congratulations to the medal.
Will be Mr. Steve Snyder. On behalf of the NIAA and US Bank, we are proud to present runner-up Nevada State Football Championship trophy.
About you guys have been a second half team most of the year, but down 20-0 state championship game. What was the mood with you guys in the locker room?
We just knew we were a second half team. We knew we could come back. There's no doubts. There's no doubts in any of our minds. We came out after that first half. We went in the locker room and said we can do this. We can come back. We've done it all year long. And so why not do it now? We did it.
I'd imagine Levitt's run was a big spark plug.
Yeah, that sparked the whole offense. I mean, that dive. That's the first time it's broken open all year. That much, and it's a great play, right?
On that punt return or that punt fumble in the end zone, did you happen to see what happened there? It looked like
he just snapped over his head. I guess that's all it did. And I was way back here for the punt return, and I didn't really see much of it. But I guess it went over his head, and we got on it. Anything on that? That's it. Congratulations. Thanks. He knew. He just said that. He just told us to wake up. He said we're down halftime. He said you guys have been doing it all year. Why not do it now? You guys can come back, and I mean our whole team knew we could come back.
Do you know how many state titles you guys have now in the last so many years?
It started ever since when my dad was in high school.
Yeah, but I mean, is it like 2 in the last 4?
2 in the last. In '92 we took it.
92. What was the big key on the field between the first half and the first half and the second half?
In the second half, our first half, they never had to punt once. In the second half, they started to punt, and we took over. Our defense pulled through, stopped them a bunch of times, and we pulled through. And Coach told us at halftime it was going to be a 21-0, or 21-20. He said that kick that they missed is going to be the game loser for them. And it sure was.
Who told you that? The coach is, or
Coach Massey. Coach Massey. And sure enough.
The NIAA and US Bank are proud to present the 1995 Nevada State Football Championship Trophy to the #1 AA League high school football team in the state of Nevada. Congratulations, Moapa Valley High School!